the small dusty village of Kadeya, where red sand painted every footpath and hunger danced in many homes, lived a young girl named Faith. She was only 22, but her eyes held the weight of 100 lifetimes since her mother died. 5 years ago, Faith had known no peace. Her father, Mr. Benjamin, had changed, once a kind farmer, now a cruel drunkard. And as if that wasn't enough, he married a wicked woman named Mrs. Rose, who hated Faith with everything. In her, they made her cook, fetch firewood, sweep the compound, farm from dawn till dusk and sleep without food. Everyone in the village pied her, but no one dared to speak. Nobody wanted to face Mr. Benjamin madness. Then came Marcus, a young man from the city. His clothes were old, his shoes had holes, but his eyes were sharp. He had been working on Mr. Benjamin's farm for 3 months, clearing bushes, planting cassava, carrying heavy loads from morning till evening. But after all the work, Mr. Benjamin refused to pay him. Next week, come tomorrow. I will pay you when I sell everything. He kept saying, but nothing ever came. One hot afternoon, Marcus came to the house, tired and angry. Sir, please, I need my money today, he said. Mr. Benjamin scratched his head and looked around. His eyes fell on Faith, who was sweeping the compound with a tired face. Then he laughed wickedly. You want money? He asked. Yes, yes, sir. I worked for 3 months. Please pay me, Mr. Marcus replied. Well, take that girl instead, Mr. Benjamin said, pointing at Faith. Marcus was confused. Take who? My daughter? She's good for nothing. Let her go with you to the city. That is your payment. Faith's heart broke. She dropped the broom and looked at her father. Daddy, please. No, shut up. He shouted. You should be happy someone wants you. Mrs. Rose folded her arms and smiled. Good, let her go. One less mouth to feed. Faith fell on her knees, begging, crying, shaking her head, but nobody cared. Nobody listened. Marcus looked at her. She was broken, but still very beautiful. Not just on the outside, but something in her spirit touched him. She's beautiful, he said under his breath. What did you say? Mr. Benjamin asked. I'll take her, Marcus replied. Just like that, Faith's life changed with tears in her eyes. She packed her clothes inside a black plastic bag. Nobody hugged her. Nobody prayed for her. Little half-brother Joel stood behind the house, crying as he waved goodbye, and Faith followed Marcus to the city. The journey to the city was long and tiring. The bus passed through many town streets and dusty roads. Faith sat close to the window, staring outside. She wasn't sure how to feel. She had just left the only home she knew. Even though that the home was full of pain, she had no idea where she was going or what would happen next. But deep inside her heart, she prayed silently, Lord, please don't let man be wicked like my father. Please give me peace. I'm tired. Marcus didn't say much during the journey. He just kept looking straight ahead, thinking deeply. Every now and then, he would glance at her And sigh, she looked so tired, so small, like someone who had carried too much pain on her shoulders. Finally, they reached the city. Everywhere looked different. Tall buildings scarce, with shining lights, people walking fast, noise everywhere. Faith held her back tightly, trying not to look confused. She had never been to the city before. They took a small tricycle to the end of a quiet street. Marcus paid the driver, then led her down a short path lined with flowers. Then he stopped in the front of a big black gate. He knocked a few seconds later. The gate opened slowly. Faith gasped. Her mouth opened, but no words came out of the compound. The compound was wide and clean. The main house was painted white and looked something from a movie flowers were neatly planted by the walkway, and there was even a small fountain in the corner. They passed the main house and stopped at a small but neat building behind it. It had one bedroom, a sitting room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. It was called the boys' quarter. This is where I lived, Marcus said with a smile. Faith looked. The place was clean, peaceful. I just got a job a few days ago as a security guard. He continued. The owner of the house is very kind. She gave me this place to stay for free. Faith looked at him, surprised. Really? Yes, he nodded. She lives in the main house with her only son. She said, I can stay here as long as I keep the compound safe. Faith looked at the small house. Again, it wasn't as big as the main building, but to her, it felt like a palace. It had a roof that didn't leak, a door that locked, and a bed with clean sheets. It was far better than the mats she used to sleep on in the kitchen back home. She smiled faintly. For the first time in a long time, if this is God's purpose for me, then so be it, she said quietly. Marcus looked at her. Are you okay with it? She nodded. Yes, I have peace. I've not felt this in a long time. 2 days after they arrived in the city, Faith woke up to the smell of something nice coming from the small kitchen. She opened her eyes slowly and looked around the room. The morning sun was gently shining through the window. It felt peaceful. She sat up and stretched her arms. For the first time in years, she had slept peacefully. No shouting, no beatings, no fear, just calm. She stepped into the kitchen and there was Marcus turning something in a frying pan. Good morning, she said quietly. He turned with a smile. Morning, Faith. I made breakfast. Hope you slept well. She nodded, yes, like a baby. They both laughed. Lightly, after breakfast, Marcus said, get dressed. I want you to meet someone. Who? Faith asked, curiously. You will see, just wear something simple and neat. She went back into the room and wore a soft gown Marcus had bought for her. She brushed her hair and came out, her heart beating fast. They walked out of the boys' quarter and followed a short path that led to the main house. When they got there, the tall black door opened, and an elegant, tall black door opened, and an elegant woman in her late 50s stood at the entrance. She had kind eyes and a calm presence. Good morning, ma. Marcus greeted. Morning, Marcus. And who is this beautiful young lady? This is Faith, my wife. Marcus replied. Mrs. Johnson looked at Faith with warm eyes. So this is the wife you spoke about. She's lovely. Come inside, my dear. Faith stepped in carefully, her eyes wide. The living room was neat, shining. Everything looked expensive. Mrs. Johnson held her hand gently. You are welcome, Faith. I like you. Already, you have a sweet spirit. I'm happy Marcus brought you here. Faith smiled. Shirley, thank you, ma. You can call me Mrs. Johnson. Feel free. Okay, this house is big enough for peace. If you need anything, let me know. Okay, ma, Faith replied. After a short chat, they returned to the boys' quarters. That evening, after cleaning the small kitchen and arranging the room, Faith sat on the edge of the bed, thinking Marcus was seated on the floor, fixing a loose handle on the wardrobe. Marcus, she called gently. Yes, can I tell you something? He looked up at her. Of course, she sighed, playing with her fingers. When my father said I should follow you to the city, I felt useless. I felt like I was thrown away, like I didn't matter to anyone. Marcus stood up slowly, his eyes on her. I thought maybe you would be worse than him. Maybe when we get here, you will start shouting at me, beating me, or threatening me like a slave. Her voice broke a little and tears filled her eyes. But you didn't. You gave me peace. You gave me space. You respected me. You even cooked for me. She wiped her face with the back of her hand. I want to tell you, thank you. I don't regret coming here anymore. I'm no longer angry that my father gave me to you. I now believe maybe this was God's plan. Marcus sat beside her and took her hand slowly. I would never hurt you, Faith. That's not the kind of man I want to be. He paused. Do you know something? He added, I like you a long time ago. The very first day I saw you on the farm, Faith looked at him with surprise. I wanted to talk to you. Your father but I was scared. I thought he would reject me, insult me, or even chase me away because I had nothing. He smiled gently, but that day, when he told me to take you instead of paying me, I was shocked. Yet deep inside, I was happy. It felt like a door had opened. Faith looked down. I don't love you yet. Marcus, I know, he said quickly, and I'm not rushing. You, she nodded. Slowly, but I like how you treat me. I like I matter, like I'm not a mistake, like I'm a queen. He smiled. Wider that's because you are Faith. You are a queen. You've just been hiding in the wrong palace. Faith laughed softly, wiping another tear for the first time. She felt seen, and though love hadn't fully entered her heart, something beautiful had already begun to grow. Respect, peace, and trust. A month later, life was already beginning to shine brighter for Faith. Every day she cooked in the boys' quarters and tried new recipes. She had even written some meals down in a small notebook Marcus gave her. Her confidence was growing. One sunny afternoon, as she was helping Mrs. Johnson carry some groceries into the house, the woman called her gently, Faith, come sit with me for a minute. Faith wiped her hands and sat beside her. Mrs. Johnson smiled. Do you know Marcus told me something sweet about you? Faith looked at her confused but curious. Ma, yes, Mrs. Johnson nodded. He said you are a great cook, and I agree. You have been helping around, and I see your heart. You are humble and hardworking. Thank you, Ma, Faith replied. Mrs. Johnson continued, my cook has traveled overseas with her family. And now I need someone I can trust to take her place. And I've been watching you closely, my dear. I believe you are the right person. Faith's mouth opened in shock. Her eyes began to water. Ah, Ma, thank you so much. You are so kind. God bless you. I don't even know what to say. Mrs. Johnson patted her. And you deserve it. You are a good girl. Still shaking with joy, Faith wiped her face quickly. Ma, can I tell you something? Of course, my child. I've been looking for a way to earn money. Not just for clothes or anything else. I want to go to school. I want to further my education and go to university. Mrs. Johnson's face lighted up immediately. You want to go to university? Yes, Ma. I stopped after secondary school because of family issue. But I love learning. I really want to go back. Mrs. Johnson reached over and gave her a warm hug. My child, I love education. I love girls that love school. That is a beautiful dream, and I'm proud of you. Faith felt her heart swell with happiness. Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. As soon as she finished helping in the kitchen, she rushed back to the boys' quarters, her slippers making soft sound as she ran. Marcus, Marcus, she shouted with excitement. He came out of the room, surprised. Is it? Why are you shouting like that? Marcus, you won't believe what just happened, she said, smiling. From year to year, Mrs. Johnson said I should become a new cook. Wait, seriously? Marcus asked, his eyes wide. Yes, and she said she'll be paying me every month. I also told her that I want to go to university, and she was so happy. Marcus pulled her into a hug. That's my wife, my world class wife. Faith laughed, blushing. Ha, Marcus, don't start. No, I mean it, he said, holding her hands. You've come a long way from the village to the city, from tears to smiles, from rejection to celebration. She nodded, still smiling. Feels like a dream. And the best part is the dream is just starting. Marcus added that night after dinner, Faith and Marcus lay side by side on the bed, facing the ceiling. Had been long, but beautiful Faith couldn't sleep. So many thoughts were running through her mind. After a long silence, she turned slowly and looked at Marcus. Marcus, she called gently. Yes, he replied, still looking up. Can I ask you something? Anything, he said, turning to face her. Faith took a deep breath. Why haven't you? You touched me since I came here. Blinked, surprised. He didn't expect that question. Faith continued. I mean, we are married. If it was another man, maybe he would have done it. The first night I entered this house, Marcus sat up slowly, leaned against the wall. His voice was calm. You are right, Faith. Many men would have done that, but I'm not just any man. I didn't bring you here to use you. He said, I brought you here to love you, to care for you, and to protect you. He paused for a moment, then looked into her eyes. You've been through so much already. I see the pain in your eyes. Sometimes, even when you smile, I don't want to add to that pain. Faith's eyes began to water. Marcus continued, I want you to be ready. I want you to love me first. Then, when your heart is at peace, you can willingly give yourself to me. Not because you feel forced, not because you feel like you owe me. He held her hand gently. I know you've never been with any man before in your life. You've carried shame, rejection, and fear for too long. That night, your father gave you away like you were nothing. It broke something inside you. Faith looked down, her heart beating fast. But Faith, you are not nothing. You are everything. You are strong, you are special, and when that time comes, when your heart says yes, not because of pressure, but because of love, then I'll be ready to. Tears rolled down Faith's cheek. She had never heard such words in her life. You really mean all this? She asked quietly. I do, he said. I want you to feel safe with me. Faith, this marriage must be built on love, not fear. She wiped her tears, smiling softly. Thank you, Marcus, she whispered. You've changed my life in so many ways. I thought all men were like my father, but you are different. You are different. Marcus leaned closer and kissed her forehead gently. Sleep well, my queen, he said. Faith lay back down, her heart full of peace. For the first time, she felt truly safe in the arms of a man, not just a husband, but a friend. Just 2 days just 2 days after Faye started working as a cook in the main house, something strange happened that morning. She was in the kitchen preparing Mrs. Johnson's favorite vegetable soup. She had just finished slicing the ugu leaves when the kitchen door opened. She turned to see a tall, handsome young man standing by the door, staring at her. It was Christopher, Mr. Johnson's only son. He looked shocked for a second, then smiled and said, Damn, you are so beautiful. Faith stood still, surprised. My mom told me about you, he continued, walking slowly into the kitchen. She said you were smart, humble, and beautiful. But honestly, I thought she was just capping until now. He placed his hand on the counter and looked at her from head to toe. Wow, you are so damn hot. I think God created you on a Sunday morning. He must have taken a sweet time with you, Faith felt uncomfortable. She looked down quickly and tried to focus on her cooking. Good afternoon, sir, she said quietly, trying to ignore his words. Christopher laughed and waved his hand. Come on, don't call me sir. I'm just a little boy. I can't. It's not proper, she said. You are so polite that she didn't reply. She just continued cooking in silence. After a few more minutes, Christopher left the kitchen, still smiling. When Faith finished her work that evening, she returned to the boys' quarters. Marcus was waiting for her outside, sitting on a wooden bench. Welcome, my queen, he said cheerfully. How was work today? Faith sat beside him, her face a little worried. Marcus, something happened today. He turned to her. Quickly, what is it? Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. But your boss son, Christopher, came into the kitchen. Okay, Marcus said, watching her closely. He was saying things that made me uncomfortable. He told me I'm beautiful, that God created me on a Sunday morning, and that I should stop calling him sir and call him by name. Instead, Marcus frowned slightly, but then gave a small smile. Ah, Christopher is a funny guy. That's how he jokes. Faith didn't smile. Marcus, I didn't like the way he was looking at me, like I'm something to eat. Marcus laughed softly and touched her hand. It's okay, my beautiful wife. Don't let it bother you. Christopher is harmless. He just like talking. It doesn't mean anything bad. Faith looked into Marcus' eyes. Are you sure? I'm sure, he said gently. But if he ever crosses the line, just tell me. I'll protect you always. She nodded slowly. Okay, if you say so. He smiled and kissed her forehead. You are safe with me. Faith always but deep inside Faith still felt something wasn't right. There was something in Christopher's eyes that made her uncomfortable, something she couldn't explain a few days later. A few days later, Faith was in the kitchen again, preparing